After a few days up north on Vancouver Island, we boarded the ferry from Port Hardy to Prince Rupert. BC Ferries gave us this handy little departure infographic, which basically meant we had to be out of the cabin by 5 in order to make the 7:30 departure. Once the car was loaded onto the ship, we headed to the purser's office to grab our passes for the Aurora Lounge. This is reserved seating at the front of the ship with recliners and floor-to-ceiling windows. We pulled away right on time, and the weather was absolute perfection. It honestly felt more like a mini Inside Passage cruise rather than a ferry ride. And then humpbacks. It turned into a whale-watching trip before we'd even had breakfast. By 9 a.m., though, I was questioning my decision not to book a cabin. 16 hours in a recliner sounded fine in theory, but in practice, less so. There'd been a wait list of 10 people when I booked, so I didn't even bother, but I figured to check with the purser just in case, and we lucked out. Someone didn't show up, and we got their cabin. Around 9:15, we grabbed coffee from Canoes and settled back into the lounge for a bit. We passed an island known for Sasquatch, and Andy scored the best t-shirt of the trip from the gift shop. We spent some time in the cabin, and then at 11 they briefly opened the car deck, so we headed down to grab my laptop and a few other things. Just before noon, they made an announcement about a raft of otters. Naturally, we ran outside to have a look. By 1 p.m. it was time for lunch, and then at 2 we pulled into Bella Bella, the only stop on the 16-hour journey. We stayed on deck watching eagles overhead and seals bobbing nearby. Then it was back to the cabin for a little nap. The afternoon turned into a string of scenic cruising with more lighthouses and gliding through narrow passages. Dinner was back at Canoes at 7, and the prime rib special could have fed a small family. After dinner, we retreated to the cabin to recover from the meat sweats, and then around 10, the sky absolutely lit up with an incredible sunset, one of those where there's a massive crowd, but everyone is silent and just taking it in. By 11, we were nearing Prince Rupert, and just after midnight, we rolled off the ferry, ready for the next part of our Canadian adventure.